Sophia here from my great challenge. Welcome back to my channel. Today is day number 23. I am starting the basement, and let me tell you, the basement is going to be transformed once I am done with it. This basement, if you remember, used to be wall-to-wall garbage, and then eventually I emptied it out, painted it, made it look nice, and you know, next thing you know, it's getting to be out of control again. I have my quilting station, which is behind the camera right now. This is one of the quilts I'm working on right now. This is actually a quilt I'm doing for Willie, but I find it to be very stressful to quilt down here because the basement is just stuffed. It's bursting at the seam with knickknacks, books, you name it. So today I'm starting the basement. We're going to be here for a while. I put in on my calendar, the link is down below for my blog if you want to see the calendar. I put in that today we're going to do decorative items and shelves, and then we're going to do memorabilia, we're going to do photos. So all of this stuff is going to be done, but it's not necessarily going to be done in this order, okay? Because I really do have a lot of things to do. And the basement is kind of like a den for us, and I want to enjoy it. And right now we're not enjoying it. It's becoming a limited space. And to be honest, it's a big mess right now because I've been filming every day or editing every day for the month of July. I'm rarely there, and what's really stressing me right now is that I have not been quilting at all, and that is my me time, and that's been cut out a little bit because of YouTube, but also because, you know, I'm doing other stuff and you know, coming back late, and I just want to come down here and enjoy my time. So the problem is I go to the table, I quilt, and then the behind me is this elephant in the room of all of those things that need to be addressed. So today I'm going to do books. And by books, I mean I am going to get rid of a lot of books. And we're going to talk about why I'm getting rid of the books. So stick around. Let's get started for some personal growth and a chit chat. Day number 23. Here we go. So before I started filming, I debated whether or not I should show you what the basement really looks like. And you know what? I have no shame, and it is a reality. I just can't keep up. I have too much crap in the house, and this is it. So there's my quilting station, and you see that stuff that's been folded end up being put here, and then it stays here, and that's a problem. So this is the quilt I finished, well, I finished for my sister. This is the back of it, and let me see if I can show you the front. And here's the front of it, and that needs to be quilted. But in order for me to quilt it, I need to have a huge amount of space here, and that can happen right now, okay? I also have a quilt that I'm making, and I need to finish within the next 3 weeks. That's for grandma, great grandma actually, and we're seeing her in August, and I need to give that to her. Okay, so this is a big mess here. We got a bookcase here. This is a folding table where we fold our clothes. We have another set of books here. Here's the sofa. This is where the kids play video games, and then we watch movies or whatnot. I have a chair here, and then I have another bookcase there, and then on the other side over there is all of the Christmas stuff that's in the storage room. All of this is going to have to be emptied. So yeah, the basement is a big mess right now, and I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to deal with it. So I have another bookcase here that's behind the quilt that I'm making for Willie. Right, and if you remember when I had the basement drama video, I got rid of an entire bookcase and kept those books. So let's talk about books. So it's very practical in the basement to have the folding table that I just showed you, right? Because it's just right coming out of the laundry room. Scott likes to fold the clothes here, and then he can watch YouTube or Netflix or whatever he wants to watch when he folds the clothes. When I fold the clothes, I don't want to watch anything else. I just want to do the clothes and be lost in that particular task and not be distracted, because otherwise it would take me 3 hours to do the clothes. So I just had a conversation with him, and we were talking about the 2 bookcases that are here holding the folding table, and those books are basically all of my college books, and I've been holding on to them for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. Obviously, over 20 years, because I graduated with my master's degree in 2000. So I have books in there from 1994 to 2000. And I've debated over the years as to what I wanted to keep. And because I was not able to make a decision, I kept them all. So, and I have this thing in my head where I'm trying to convince myself that no, you can't get rid of your school books, dude. You got to keep them, right? And then I'm thinking, like, but why? Because I'm really not looking at them. So Scott and I just had a conversation, and I said to him, you know, how would you feel if I was getting rid of all of my college book, or should I get rid of my college books? And you know, his questions were practical, no nonsense type of questions. Well, have you used them? And the answer is no. Have you looked at them in the last 20 years? And the answer is, well, some of them yes, but most of them no. Are you going to reread them from cover to cover? No. Can you sell them? Not really, because they're 20 years, okay? Now, the theories in psychology have not changed. You know, Adler is Adler, Jung is Jung, Erickson is Erickson. You know, I mean, these are the basic fundamental theories in psychology, and those are not going to change because they've been there forever, and they're anchored in all of the psychology programs. That's basically what you study. Now, all the new guys are not there, obviously, but all of the pillars of psychology, and whether it's abnormal psychology or regular family therapy or whatever, is in there. But do I really need to keep them? Because everything is on the internet. I can get that again in different formats, whether it's smaller books, audio books. You can get what do you call them, the ebooks, and it's also in there. Because I don't know why I'm keeping them. I guess because they represent a very important part of my life and kind of like a big achievement. For those of you who are new to the channel and don't know, I majored in forensic psychology. I earned my master's degree in forensic psychology. It's all this criminal psychology, basically. And so I studied sex offenders, criminal behavior, drug and substance abuse for the past, you know, and that's what I majored in. But the biggest achievement, the bigger achievement is not only did I do that, but I did that in a second language at a time when I barely spoke English. So it really does represent a big achievement in my life. And I've always felt that if I let that go, does the achievement go away, it no longer represents me. But ultimately the diploma is on the wall. And you know what I mean? So I'm going to make a big, huge decision today. I'm going to go through all the books. And Scott and I were talking about the folding table and the amount of space that it takes here. It is practical. I cannot say otherwise. But here's the major problem, and it's not just me. I don't want to put the blame on other people and just like not and keep myself out of the equation, but it's both adults in the house. It's Scott and it's me. We fold clothes, they stay folded here. Sometimes they stay folded here for 3 weeks. Okay, and we come back downstairs when we really need the stuff. So I give you, for instance, like these sheets and towels have been on my sewing table for over 2 weeks now, and none of us is willing to take them upstairs. It's not that we're not willing, we just don't think about it, are too lazy to do it, and it's just like we move on to something else. So there's definitely a discipline problem here on both our parts. And we were thinking, well, if I remove it, where are we going to fold the clothes? And the only way we can do it is either we fold them on the sewing table and then the stuff has got to get out of here, or we bring the baskets of unfolded clothes and we fold them upstairs on the dining room table, which is what we used to do back in the days. And that way they get out of the way. They have to get out of the way because we're eating there, okay? So I'm going to go through the books, and the goal today is to be able to remove so many books that I'm going to have just one short bookcase left. That's it. And I'm probably going to move books from the bookcase in the back and the bookcase here. This one, actually, I'd like to get rid of altogether, because if you remember, it's wobbly. It's a poor quality one, unlike the one that's in the back. And that one, I have it Rube Goldberg with bungee cords so that it stays together and doesn't fall apart. So I'm thinking about removing the whole table altogether and come up with a different solution. It could be a folding table, it could be a table that comes down, it could be the upstairs, it could be folding here with the ottoman in front, you know, I mean, these, or have a coffee table here because I would have the space now. So there's a lot of other ways I can do the folding if I was to keep doing it in the basement without having 137 books in the basement underneath that folding table. So if you've watched me for a long time, I'm hoping you appreciate the amount of progress that is for me. If you're not, you're probably thinking, what's the big deal? Well, it is a big deal because I've been doing YouTube for 5 years now, and these books have meant so much that I was not even considering looking at them. It was just like a given, etched in stone. The books are not going anywhere. But now I think that with all of the progress that I've made through the house in getting rid of stuff, and it's not just the 30 bags in 30 days for this time around, it's all of the decluttering episodes that I've had on this channel over the past 5 years. It took me that long to get to this point where I no longer want to spend my life working around the stuff that I have. I'm constantly trying to figure out ways to make things better by not addressing what's in the middle. So I'm basically going around, and I'm not really addressing the bigger issue. The bigger issue here is that I hang on to stuff that are representing a part of my life that is still there, even if the books are not. Example, the wedding shoes. If I get rid of the bedding, I don't want to say get rid of, I just said that in the last video. If I let go of my wedding shoes, I'm still married, okay? If I let go of my school books, I still have a master's degree. It's not going anywhere, plus all of the other certificates and licenses I got after that. It's not removing it, and it's very difficult for me to get to this level, but I am here. I finally made it to this point. So let's get started. I'm gonna go through the books. I'm not going to read the titles and go through the whole thing because I think that some of it is going to be dead boring for you because it's a very specific, narrow aspect of psychology that may not be interesting to you. But I'm gonna go through all of this, and then the 2 bookcases that are here, one of them I'm keeping because I'm gonna keep some books, okay? And the other one's gotta go, and the folding table is going, and that's gonna be a major improvement in the den. Matter of fact, I may even have the room to finally put a sectional sofa. Grandiose, but I know, but we'll see. So let's get started. So here you go, you guys. I'm ready to let go of all this stuff. Not all of it, okay? Not all of it, because there's some of them I really want to keep. So I got to go through the whole thing. Okay, let's start with the easiest part. The easiest part are all of those true crime books. Helter Skelter, Cannibal Killers, Toxic Love. Okay, so there's some of them I do want to keep because they are the major classics in forensic psych. So I gotta go through this really quick. Okay, I'll give you an example. I have 2 Helter Skelters. Okay, so obviously I don't need to keep 2, so I'm gonna keep the big one. This one can go. Cannibal Killers can go. Toxic Love can go. Ted Bundy. I have another Ted Bundy somewhere in there. Here you go. Alright, so I'm keeping this one. This one can go. I know what I have, you know, and I've read all of those. The Green River Zodiac. I have a system. This is going to be a long video today, okay? I have a system, okay? When I was in school, I don't know if you can see that, right? Let me move the little thing right here. Okay, I read several times the same book. So the first time I read it, I highlight it. Then I condense it even more, and I underline it. And then I condense it even more by doing the sticky notes. You see that? So this tells me I read it 3 times. I will keep that. Okay, it's kind of like the Bible. And actually this one, no, it wasn't a teacher of mine. Okay. FBI Legends. Okay, these are all like again, all the guys are there. Okay, this guy, I think I talked about that before. John Douglas. He ruined his career when he got involved with the Ramsey kid. What was her name? You know which one I'm talking about, right? The little girl that was, what was her first name? She was doing the child beauty pageant thing, and okay, so he came in right away saying the parents didn't do it, and that totally ruined his career because he had no evidence. But Mindhunter is the reason why I got into psychology and to criminal psychology. I came across that book. At the time I was in the psychology major, but I was going to do child abuse and trauma. And then I came across this book. I started reading it and it clicked. I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to study. And he got me into this. So I have 3 of his books here. Am I ever going to read them again? See, this thing has stuff about Jerry Budos again. And there's a nail file in there. Don't know why. Maybe. Okay. Maybe not. These are the textbooks, okay. I'm definitely keeping this because that was one of my teachers, and I believe, yeah. See, another one that I read a gazillion times. This was great. Sex, Murder, and Sex Aggression. This was great. Okay, so I'm definitely keeping that. Okay, here we go. Psychological interviewing. Family therapy techniques, that can go. That can go. Let it go. Schizophrenia Genesis, the origin of madness. Oh, it's got studies in it. They gotta be so old. How old is this? It's online, Sophia. It's online. You don't need to keep it. What year is this? 91. Let it go. Taking sides. Oh, this was great. But it's on social issues and things have changed. That can go. Okay. Personality selected readings in theory. The theories have not changed. See? B.F. Skinner. Who's this? I spent a lot of time. Alfred Adler. Adler. Who's this? Adler. Keep. Okay, out of bedlam. That can go. Impulsivity. Yeah, that was great. That was great. Keep. That can go. That can go. This was excellent. There are no children here. The story of two boys growing up in the other America. This is about two kids growing up in Harlem. This was a very good read. Get it? Okay. Eric Fromm. Keep. Kierkegaard. Okay, my man Carl Jung. What do I do with Carl Jung? It was one of my favorites. The Portable Jung. Maybe that's the one I want to keep. No, come on. Alright, we're just going to keep this one. Okay. Another Jung. Which one is that? No, this is Freud, Jung, Occult. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is the... These are the Freud. So, we're going to keep the compendium. Which is the Freud reader. Everything else that can go. Oh my God, look at all the books I'm getting rid of. Living Well with Anxiety. What your doctor doesn't tell you that you need to know. I'll tell you. Get rid of your junk. Here you go. Dead Men Do Tell Tales. We read that. Mockery of Justice. Advanced Uncorrected Page Proof. Oh, where did I get that? The Shepherd case. Come on. Contemporary Criminal... this is the crime psychology. How old is it? 96. Criminal Personality, we're keeping that. Image of Deviance. Okay. Okay. No. 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 I'm making a pile. You can't see it. Look. Look at the pile. This is all, I'm letting go of all of that. Okay. Okay. I'm keeping just this. Okay. Hope you're having fun going through my, the antisocial behavior, yes. I didn't read this. Leading FBI investigator reports from the front line of crime. That's a proofreading. Advanced Uncorrected Proofs. Why do I have this? It's probably when I was working at the college. I got my hands on this. I didn't read it. Correctional context. Oh boy, look at how much I read this one. Remember the highlight, then the stuff, and then I put on the little stickies. Prison reform. This is so outdated. Forget it. Very outdated. Treatment of PTSD. There's another one I read a lot. Psychological trauma and the adult social keeping. Okay. All right. Now we have the all the abnormal behavior. Oh God, all that knowledge I've acquired over the years. I know most of the time when I do videos, you guys don't see it, but it's there. Just put me in the right context and it comes out. Experimental psychology, I hate that. Okay, diagnostic interview. Well, I bet you it's some test we don't even do anymore. Yeah, look, it's on affective disorder, personality disorder. That can go. It doesn't even match the new DSM. Albert Ellis, you gotta read him. You gotta read Albert Ellis. Okay, intellectual assessments, nobody does those anymore. Cognitive psychology and its implication. They're all glued together. No. Okay, the GRE and the GRE in psychology. Okay. I am not taking those tests again. So they can go. Oh my goodness, they're all glued to the thing. Yeah, these were my study books to get into master level. Okay. I should take the pre-test and post-test again, see how I do. No. No. That's the mini DSM-4. We're on 5 now. Criminal violence, criminal justice. It's got statistics from the 70s. Come on. Come on. Invitation to sociology. No. Dictionary of psychology. My goodness, this book is still standing around. Look, it's got my old initials on it. Okay, that was before I got married. All right. Social contract. That was very good. But that's the translation from the French one. I'd rather have the French one. Okay. Insanity. I'm doing good. Erickson. Can't stand him. Immortality. No. Okay. What's that? Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Jefferson, Thoreau. No one. Edward may like that. Okay. I should ask him, right? Psychoanalysis. No. Childhood and Society. Erickson. Yeah, you can go. Don't like him. The WASTE 3 assessment. We don't even choose it anymore. Here's another one of those proofread books. Where did I get those? Comprehending behavioral statistics. So you can go. Tremor in the blood. Uses and abuse of the lie detector. This is when I was doing my. I was gonna go for the FBI internship, and I turned it down. That's how I got all of those. That can go. The biggest regret of my life. I don't need a reminder. Huh? Psychology internship. Okay, alright, the abnormal. We said we're going to keep the abnormal, right? Okay. Why did I hold on to all this stuff? Correctional counseling and rehabilitation. Yeah, I read that. Okay. Treatment planner. Come on. Abnormal psychology, yes. They got so glued to the shelf that the paint got stuck to it. Reasons and responsibility. That's philosophy. We don't need that. Juvenile justice and residential care treatment planner. I don't need that. Okay. I'm done. I can't believe the amount of books I'm letting go of. I need a moment. Why have I held on to all of this for all these years? It's so easy for me to make the decision as to what I really want to keep. So why am I holding on to all of this? I just let go of over 100 books, you guys. Why was I holding on to it? I mean, we just talked about that a little bit, but it's expired, except for the theories, again, they're the same. Some of it I'm not interested in, like the child psychology. I'm interested in abnormal behavior, sexual predators, and impulsive behavior and PTSD. That's all I'm interested in. Everything else is all the other classes that I had to take, you know, because they take you several classes and they're not necessarily classes that you care about. I mean, the interesting stuff, but it's not your specialty. So if I only keep the stuff that I really deeply, consistently interested in, and the stuff that I really, really wanted to do, I'm still using actually, why am I keeping the rest? Like, psychoanalysis is a load of crap if you ask me. Why am I keeping Freud? You know? Okay. I don't have enough bags. So I have to figure out a way to get those out of the way. And when I come back, I will have this table and those two bookcases out of the way. And we'll have to go through the other two bookcases. And I'm only going to keep one of these. So whatever I'm keeping has got to fit in one bookcase. If it doesn't fit, then I have to go through it again. Okay? Because that's all I'm going to limit myself to is one bookcase. And then I have to go through the other. Well, no, we're just going to keep one bookcase. I may end up keeping the other tall one for now, but I just want to keep one bookcase and let the table go. So let me pack all this stuff. Let me show it to you first and then pack all this stuff. And then remove this and we'll see how it's opened up the space and hopefully my brain, because it's too much going on. So I'm letting go of all of these over here, right? So this is all getting letting them go, all right, and I'm letting go of all of these, and so far I'm just keeping these. That's it, and I think that's definitely gonna fit in a bookcase. So wow. Hey guys, Scott is going through his books. You finding any?
Yeah, I put a couple on that chair over there.
You're letting go of all of that?
Yeah.
No way!
Why?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. You know, I believe that people change. I wouldn't be in the field I'm in if I didn't believe that. People do change. But you have two kinds of people. You have, on one hand, the folks that make a decision and that's it, they're done. They can completely change their life, turn around, and never look back. No problem, and they do it rather fast too, okay? It happens all the time. You have people who just quit their job, pack their house, move across the country, start brand new in the space of 1 month. And, you know, kudos to them. And then you have the other folks like me who need to, well, not that we need to, but we end up agonizing over years before we can get it, before we can make the move, before we can make the decision. All right, I'm one of those folks, and some of you who are watching this channel, I'm pretty sure, are too. I know what I'm supposed to do, but I need people to understand that just because you know what you're supposed to do doesn't mean that you're going to do it on your timeline. Okay, it took me years to make the decision to get rid of those books. I've known all along I needed to get rid of them. I've had a slew of comments about it's not that difficult, why don't you just get rid of them? Okay, well, you know what, it is difficult, and for a lot of people it is difficult to get rid of our personal belonging, in particular if they represent something to you, okay, or to them. All right, so I made a huge stride towards clearing out this house today. It took me, I don't know, I've been on YouTube since what? Well, I didn't make this bookcase thing until maybe year 1. So it's been 4.5 years, pretty much, that I'm agonizing over these books and the space in here. I'm nowhere near where it should be, but I've made a major, major step towards getting the house in a clear, functional, peaceful way. Okay, and again, for some people it's natural, you get it, you do it, it's like it's your way of life. And then for some of us it's just the most difficult thing to do, because we like objects, we like clutter, we like to be surrounded by things. However, we get to a point where I'm not going to say suffocate, because I could have lived like this another 10 years, you know. We get to the point where it starts to impact other aspects of our lives. And if it's bothering me to have all this mess here while I'm quilting, I can only imagine what it's doing to the kids while they're playing video games. So I've gotten rid of everything that I decluttered today. It's already in the back of the car. The furniture is also out. Scott is going to bring that to Goodwill. They're going to have a heart attack when they open the bags and see what's in there. But you know, it is what it is. I'm donating them, right? I'm going to show you a tour of what this area looks like as of today, Monday. And trust me when I tell you that by Wednesday or Thursday, it's going to be totally different in here. What totally? It's going to be majorly decluttered, because this basement is technically a family room, and I want it to be a family room. It slowly became a library, and then a library slash basement storage attic, okay? And I don't want that. I want a room, an extra room in the house. I don't want a storage room that happens to be a TV room, okay? So let me show you what it looks like, and then I'll say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow, okay? So hang on. So Scott went through this bookcase and removed quite a lot of books. So I was able to relocate books in here. I will redo another book round. I will, because I'm pretty sure I can get rid of more books in here. So this hasn't changed. This is staying the way it is. This table, Scott reminds me every time I want to get rid of it that that's the one I use for the Christopher Radko tree for Christmas. Maybe I need to put it in the garage instead, since I have the room. Okay, so I gathered all the laundry, it's in there. That big red chair, ugly as it is, Scott loves it, so we're keeping it. The sofa is here now, and I'm gonna pull this way, and you're gonna see the space that I made. There we go. So all of the stuff is gone. Okay, so you'll notice that I still didn't fix the staircase, but I'm busy, you guys. Okay, so this is what I did. Out of the two bookcases that were underneath that folding table, I kept the one that was the longest this way. All right, they were both the same height. It was damaged. It's still very, very sturdy, because that's a high quality bookcase, but it was damaged. So what I did is that I used some of that tack paper, contact paper that I had, and Willie and I put it on the shelves, so that way you don't see all the paint that got damaged and whatnot. And these are the books that we are keeping. It might still be too much, but it's better than what I had. This is just temporary. I have, you know, I have those big frames with the hunting advertisements. I have another 5 of them. They're not all going to be here, but I just put them there to see what it would look like if I was decorating this corner. So I have nothing on there here. And then this is basically where the table and the 2 bookcases used to be. And when you walk into my basement, now you have all of this space, and it's really, really big. Now the sleigh, I got rid of the one that was in the garage. That was a regular sleigh that had no decor on it, but this one was hand painted by Scott's grandmother, and so we're keeping that, but it needs to be located somewhere else. So all of this space here, guys, all of this has been regained, and that's quite a lot of space. And again, when you go from this side of the basement, the whole place is opened now. There's no obstruction, nothing. So this is starting to look like a real family room. Eventually, over the years, we'll probably refloor this, because the guy who sold the house, just basically, this was concrete. He just put those plastic slats directly, you know, the glue on, directly onto the floor. So the floor is cold in the winter, but the heat is working very well. So in the winter in here, you can get, you know, 66, 67 degree temperature, and that's very nice. It's not, you're not suffocating. But this is what I did today, and I think this was probably the most impact of the decluttering journey for the month of July, for this time around. I really do think so. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like what I did. Again, a lot of it is temporary, because I'm still working on this basement, but what a difference and what a dent. Okay, so yeah, people do change, And people like me change over time, not overnight. So it takes a while. And I'm ready to continue this journey. But listen, I have no regret. I really don't. I feel like a big weight has been lifted off my shoulders by getting those books out of the way. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So I'm proud of myself. I really am. And I'm going to enjoy the moment, have a cup of coffee, and I'm going to start filming on day 20. What was it today? I think today was 23, right? So I'm filming back to back, you know that. So I'm going to start filming day 24, which is going to be Tuesday for you guys. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you like this. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner and want to continue seeing the transformation in the basement. And I will see you later. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.